everybody. I am back. I have another story with a positive message at the end. You know, these are my stories, what has happened in my life. So, here goes. Basic training, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, 1985. It was time to fire the M16s on the range. Now, weeks before, we had been training about the M16, the different components, and now it's time for us to go to the range and qualify. Now, we're there along with the drill sergeants, of course. You have a drill sergeant that's up in the tower. I call them the tower drill. They sit up really, really high. So if something goes on that doesn't look right, they can just yell over the megaphone, whatever they need to yell. And then we have the land drills that walks around in case something goes on. They're there. So we have our safety net, okay? So once you're firing at these targets and you're firing, and it gets kind of good to you too, because I really enjoyed it until my weapon jammed. Weapon, not gun, weapon, M16, until it jammed. So when my weapon jammed, I had to wave my hand, because that's what we're taught to do. Wave our hand, and the tower drill would see your arm, and the first thing they would say is, cease fire, cease fire. And you keep your hand up until the land drill got over to you. And the land drill helped you to figure out what's going on. Why did your weapon jam? And once your weapon is unjammed, you will hear the tower drill say, commence to firing. And everybody can start firing again. In this journey, this spiritual war, we are steadily firing and being fired upon. And you know, like in the beginning, like I told you about how good it felt to just shoot my weapon, just da 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 da. It just felt so good. And in the beginning of your salvation, that's how we are. You're just so happy in Jesus. You're reading. You're telling of His goodness. You're praying. You're fasting. You're doing everything because it's so good. It's so exciting. I can't get enough of it, and everything's just fine. But sooner or later, you become jammed. You don't read like you used to. You don't pray like you used to. You don't tell people of His goodness and give them the plan of salvation, or just encourage them in a spiritual way. You don't do that anymore. You don't fast anymore. We become jammed. But in the spiritual war, we're steadily getting fired upon, but we're jammed. It seems like nothing we do is working. We've tried to work on our weapon of salvation and something ain't right. Until we decide to say, hey, I know what it is. I need to wave my hand. And our tower drill that sits on high and looks low and sees everything, he can yell, cease fire, so that you can get yourself back together. And how do we do that? And he will also send a land drill, which is maybe a prayer partner, or someone you can run into on the street that give you an encouraging word to let you know you got to get back to where you were. So you start back fasting and praying, and you begin to fire again. And when those shots come towards you, they're just ricocheting off, because you're walking in the authority that He has given you. So remember, when you feel like you're jammed up, wave your hand so that Jesus Christ can say, cease fire, that you will be able to unjam your situation by the help of the Almighty. And then you can continue in this spiritual warfare. I love you guys. See ya.